Have you ever considered how essential setting boundaries can be for your well-being and relationships? Let's take a moment to explore this. Boundaries, when effectively put in place, act as a safeguard for your mental health. They define the emotional and physical space between you and others, serving as lines that signal where your limits lie. When we lack these boundaries, we often find ourselves shouldering more than we can handle, stretching ourselves thin. We may even end up sacrificing our own needs and desires for the sake of others. This is not a sustainable way of living, and can lead to emotional exhaustion, stress, and even burnout. Now, why are boundaries so pivotal for our relationships? Well, they help maintain a balance of give and take. They ensure that all parties involved are respected and that their needs are acknowledged. Without boundaries, a relationship can quickly become one-sided, leading to resentment and frustration. Imagine a scenario where a friend constantly asks for favors but never reciprocates, or a coworker who continually dumps their workload onto you. These situations can breed negativity and strain the relationship. However, when boundaries are set and respected, it paves the way for healthier interactions and stronger connections. It's also crucial to understand that boundaries are not just about saying no. They're about recognizing what's best for you and taking steps to protect your peace and happiness. They're about acknowledging your worth and ensuring that others do the same. However, setting boundaries is not always easy. It requires introspection, courage, and a lot of communication. But the benefits that come along with it are worth the effort. Clearly, having no boundaries can lead to emotional drain and strained relationships. But how do we set these boundaries? Well, stay tuned as we delve deeper into understanding your boundaries, identifying them, communicating them, and most importantly, maintaining them. We're just getting started on this journey of self-discovery and self-care. Before setting boundaries, first understand what they are and why they matter to you. Personal boundaries can be thought of as invisible lines that delineate your personal comfort zone. They are the rules and limits you set for yourself to safeguard your well-being and maintain your mental and emotional health. Boundaries can relate to various aspects of your life, including your relationships, work-life balance, personal space, and emotional well-being. Every individual has different boundaries. This is because our boundaries are shaped and influenced by our unique experiences, values, and personality traits. For instance, one person may value solitude and require significant alone time, thereby setting a boundary around their personal time. Conversely, another individual may thrive on social interaction and set boundaries that allow for more engagement with others. Understanding these differences is crucial because it underscores the fact that there are no one-size-fits-all boundaries. What feels comfortable and right for one person may not necessarily hold true for another. This is why self-awareness is key. It's about acknowledging what feels right for you, understanding your needs, and recognizing what you value most in life. Self-awareness helps you identify your boundaries. It encourages you to reflect on your past experiences, consider what made you uncomfortable or upset, and understand why. This introspection allows you to pinpoint the areas where you need to establish boundaries. Remember, your boundaries are not just about safeguarding your personal space or time. They also protect your emotions, your energy levels, and your sense of self-worth. They prevent others from overstepping, from taking more than you're willing to give. And importantly, they help you maintain balance in your life, ensuring you don't spread yourself too thin. Boundaries are essential, not just for your own well-being, but also for fostering healthy relationships. They allow for mutual respect and understanding, and they ensure that each person's needs and values are acknowledged and respected. Now that we understand what boundaries are and why they are essential, let's move on to the first step in setting them. Identifying your boundaries is the first step in this process. It involves deep self-reflection and understanding of your personal values, comfort zones, and past experiences. Think about what truly matters to you, what makes you feel safe and respected. These insights form the foundation of your boundaries. For instance, physical boundaries could involve your personal space and comfort with touch. Emotional boundaries might refer to how much personal information you're comfortable sharing with others. Time boundaries, on the other hand, could be about how you allocate your hours in a day, ensuring you have enough time for self-care, work, and relationships. Your past experiences also play a crucial role in shaping your boundaries. Reflect on moments where you felt uncomfortable or disrespected. What could have been different? How could a boundary have changed the situation? Once you've identified your boundaries, you're ready to communicate them. Communicating your boundaries effectively is the next step. When we talk about boundaries, it's not enough to just recognize and identify them. They need to be communicated clearly and assertively. But how can you do this without coming across as confrontational or aggressive? Firstly, it's about being direct. Clear communication leaves little room for misinterpretation. Use simple, concise language to express your needs and boundaries. Say, "I need some quiet time in the evening to unwind," instead of vague statements like, "I sometimes feel overwhelmed when it's noisy." Secondly, focus on I statements. This is a communication technique that emphasizes your feelings and needs, rather than blaming or criticizing the other person. For example, instead of saying "you're always interrupting me," try, "I feel frustrated when I'm interrupted during my work." Next, it's crucial to be assertive, not aggressive. Assertiveness is about expressing your needs and standing up for your rights while respecting others. It's a healthy middle ground between passivity and aggression. So, instead of demanding, "I don't want any interruptions during my work hours," assertively state, "I would appreciate it if we could limit interruptions during my work hours." Also, remember to be consistent. If you communicate a boundary once but let it slide the next time, it sends mixed signals. Consistency reinforces your boundaries and shows others that you're serious about them. Lastly, practice empathy. Understand that the other person might not realize they're crossing your boundaries. A little empathy can go a long way in maintaining relationships while setting boundaries. But what if after all this your boundaries are still not respected? That's where our next step comes in. Establishing consequences for boundary violations is an important part of boundary setting. But remember, the goal is not to punish, but to protect your well-being and maintain healthy relationships. With your boundaries clearly communicated, it's time to ensure they are respected. The final step is enforcing and maintaining your boundaries. Let's take a moment to wrap our minds around the concept of maintaining boundaries. It's not a once-and-done deal. It's an ongoing process that requires consistency. You see, boundaries like garden fences need regular care and attention to stay strong and effective. Consistency is the key to maintaining boundaries. It's about standing your ground, even when the winds of change try to sway you. Imagine your boundary as a sturdy tree. It may bend and sway in the face of a storm, but it remains rooted. Your boundaries should be the same. They should be flexible enough to adapt, yet firm enough to protect your values and needs. Now, maintaining boundaries isn't always a walk in the park. There will be challenges. People may push back, test your limits, or even disregard your boundaries entirely. This is where your resolve comes in. It's crucial to remember why you set these boundaries in the first place, for your well-being and peace of mind. So how do you handle these situations? First, stay calm and composed. It's easy to get swept up in emotions, but remember, you're not here to win an argument. You're here to protect your space. Second, communicate clearly and assertively. Remind the person of your boundaries and explain why they're important to you. And finally, be ready to take action if your boundaries are repeatedly ignored. This could mean distancing yourself from the person or situation, or seeking support from trusted individuals or professionals. Remember, boundaries aren't about controlling others, they're about taking control of your own life. They're not walls to keep people out, but guidelines that help you and others interact respectfully and harmoniously. Maintaining boundaries is a journey, not a destination. It's a process of learning, growing, and becoming more self-aware. It's about recognizing your worth and standing up for it. With these steps you can set, communicate, and maintain your boundaries effectively. Setting boundaries is not just about saying no, it's about saying yes to your well-being. We've explored the importance of boundaries, understanding them, and the steps to identify, communicate, and maintain them. It's crucial to remember that these aren't just steps, they're investments in your personal growth and happiness. Boundaries are your personal guidelines, and they're as unique as you are. You've got the tools to identify what's important to you, to communicate these boundaries clearly, and to maintain them consistently. And remember, boundaries aren't walls, they're the gates to your personal garden, keeping out what harms you and letting in what nourishes you. It's a journey, and like any journey, it's not always easy, but it's worth it. You're worth it. Remember, it's your right to set boundaries, and it's vital for your well-being. Don't forget to subscribe for more empowering content.